And we welcome in Stacy Washington, host of Stacy on the Right Show, and Noah Rothman, assistant online editor with Commentary Magazine. Welcome to both of you. All right, so let me ask you, Stacy, big day for Donald Trump today. He didn't go crazy. He had a very presidential, statesman-like press conference and celebrated with a McDonald's meal on his plane. He put that on his Instagram. All in all, a pretty good day for Donald Trump.
I would say so. And I think it's interesting because with the movement of those unbound delegates, it was kind of like a surprise. You wake up, all of a sudden he's the nominee. He's at 12:38. I posted online and I saw some feedback from the Never Trump crowd, and I do understand if you're still angst-ridden and you haven't yet put down your cup of woe, that you're still pretty upset about Donald Trump winning. But for the rest of us who are moving forward to the general, this is good news because it eliminates the possibility of a convention floor fight, what people have been calling the contested convention, and it moves the party ahead towards unity. That's what I'm hoping, and that's what a lot of strategists are hoping, and especially in light of what was just said about the donor situation, we need people to be working on raising money and building a coalition so we can beat Hillary.
Yeah, Noah, welcome back, of course. And I don't know, I mean, you were never, I don't believe, on board the Trump train, so to speak. Are you still drinking a cup of woe?
As it were, my woe is almost entirely consumed. There was quite a bit of woe there in that cup, though. Unity is a two-way street, and Donald Trump, it seems, disinclined to even remotely offer a olive branch to some of the individuals who backed him, didn't back him with the alacrity that he would have preferred, including people who are backing him now. He went on the campaign trail and said, to Rick Perry, who has offered to be his vice president at this point, I'm shocked at the rate at which he's pivoted to backing me. I've never seen politicians pivot that fast. Sort of a veiled attack at a lack of character, a lack of ethics and principles from somebody like Donald Trump. That's rather amazing. So when you're saying unify behind me or else, you're shocked to find that people choose or else. That's not their fault.
Yeah, but Noah, to Stacy's point, I mean, he's got the nomination now. There's no chance. I don't know. Are you hoping still for? And it seems like the only person who wants it, and I'm going to speak to Bill Kristol next week, is Mitt Romney. I mean, are you still hoping for that third party candidate, which would, most people believe, give the presidency to Hillary at a time when we should be, we being anybody who despises Hillary and fears her reign as president, should be uniting, as Stacy said, around Donald Trump and saying, we got this woman on the ropes after that report yesterday. She can't even beat Sanders yet. Let's finish it.
Did you see Donald Trump talking about that report today at all? I didn't. I saw him very briefly respond to a question
he mentioned that the report wasn't a good. He talked about it yesterday.
No, he responded very briefly. The report was released yesterday. He responded very briefly to it. Hillary Clinton has wanted to change the subject on it, and she called into 2 cable news shows today and was asked exclusively, by the way, about Donald Trump's comments about her. Donald Trump is talking about Donald Trump. He's not talking about Hillary Clinton. He is filling the news cycle with himself. So if you are concerned about Hillary Clinton's presidency, and you are concerned about Donald Trump's presidency, and you believe you have to choose one of these 2 options, yeah, a lot of people are still holding out hope that there's some other way for them to vote. I don't think it's going to happen, but there are a lot of people who are disinclined to support Donald Trump at this stage because he's made no effort to unify this party beyond saying unify.
Well, Stacy, to me, and I love Noah, and all due respect to Noah, you know what? I don't care anymore. If Paul Ryan doesn't want to get on board, and if Mitt Romney doesn't want to get on board, I say, who needs them?
Well, look, Steve and Noah, who I like a lot, I have to say, I don't believe we've met in real life, but I like you from your online work and all of that. I respect you a great deal.
Thank you, Stacy.
I think there's a huge opportunity here, and I mentioned the donor class, and the RNC has been mentioned here, and the money that they've promised. Look, some of the responsibility for pivoting to issues and messaging and creating a air war that then translates into an online social media phenomenon that gets people talking and gets topics on the lips and eyes of Americans is what they do with the donor money. So you have what the candidate's doing, and you want them to be on message, but when you have a bit of a wild card like Donald Trump, it's even more important for the rest of us to come together and get these other messages out by any means necessary, meaning when we have the donations in place, then we run the ads that talk about the things that Hillary's doing. it's not going to just be Donald Trump who's talking about these things. I'd love to see him do it. It is a criticism that I have of him. Sometimes he misses huge opportunities to hit Hillary Clinton. I'm hoping he'll become more focused in that area. But my inclination is to email people that I know that are working on his campaign, make suggestions. I don't think he's going to be the traditional candidate. We can't expect tight messaging from him, but we can help and we can unify to do the best we can.
Let's get to the phones, guys, with Noah and Stacy at 877 Newsmax, 877-639-7629, and we go to Florida and say hello to Rich in Navarie, Florida. Hello, Rich.
Yeah, great to speak with you, Steve. If it's okay, I'd like to carry on the discussion that you were carrying on with Dick Morris about Trump's VP pick. One name that Dick didn't mention that I think should be prominent is Michelle Bachmann, former Congresswoman of Minnesota, who only left Congress last January, about 6 months before Trump announced. She fills all of Trump's squares. She was pro immigration control and anti-amnesty for her whole 4 terms in Congress, long before Trump even picked up the issue. She's pro-life. She's in favor of strict enforcement of trade agreements.
I don't think it's going to happen, though, Rich. I just think there's too much. I hate to capitulate to the media. I just think there's too much for them to go after with her, not in a fair way, but they'll do it like they did to Palin. Let me ask the panel, Noah, who would you like to see Trump pick if you would like to see him pick anybody?
If he's inclined to unify the party as he says he is, then he should pick somebody with whom he has disagreements. And it's not just demographics, by the way, and demographics are very important, but it is also somebody who represents conservatism. This is, Paul Ryan may not have a huge constituency in conservative media, but he's got a substantial constituency in the party. And this is a party that is a conservative party. It's not a progressive Republican party. Conservatives spent 50 years banishing progressives from this party, and now you're trying to wrestle it back into a much more progressive, much more activist method. You're going to need somebody who's a conservative.
So did you say Newt Gingrich? Was that a name you just said? I'm sorry.
I did not say Newt Gingrich.
Okay. What about?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, Stacy, we've got 30 seconds in this segment. Who do you think he should pick?
I think he should go with someone he's criticized heavily. Susana Martinez would be high on my list. I love her. I think she's fantastic, and she brings the experience of a governor.
I think she'd be good. I don't know if she can navigate through Congress. I think it's something he needs. But, after the last few days, and she's been critical of him, to be fair. She has been critical of him before he ever spoke out against her, and then she dissed him at that rally the other night. Anyway, we're coming back. More of your calls with Stacy and Noah and me, and give me 5. Don't go away.
Oh, I'd love to debate Bernie.
But would you
He's a
actually
dream,
take...
but I want a lot of money to be put up for charity. So what we'll do is if we can raise for maybe women's health issues or something, if we can raise 10 or $15 million for charity, which would be a very appropriate amount. I understand the television business very well. I think we'd get very high ratings.
All right, Donald Trump earlier today, after winning the Republican nomination with enough delegates, joining us once again on the panel, Stacy Washington, host of Stacy on the Right Show, and Noah Rothman, assistant online editor with Commentary Magazine. So Noah, what do you think of a debate between Sanders and Trump in a big arena for charity?
Well, I'm not entirely sure who it benefits. I think it probably benefits Bernie Sanders quite a bit because it gives him a microphone he desperately needs at this point. It probably benefits Donald Trump because it allows him to, again, dominate the news cycle and cast Hillary Clinton as sort of an afterthought. And it sort of runs rings around Hillary Clinton. As far as the charity issue, though, goes, this is a concept that is a little bit tainted. Donald Trump used a charity event in order to counter-program against a Fox News debate that he wanted to skip. And there was controversy surrounding that for the last 3 months.
Right,
he only recently delivered $1 million of $6 million that he promised to raise to a veterans organization.
It was addressed today, and I know that he said that it's all going to be sorted out, and by next week they'll give a full accounting. Stacy, very briefly, what do you think about a debate between Trump and Sanders?
Well, I think if Sanders stays on message and hits Hillary Clinton while he's debating Donald Trump, then it works out well for Trump. If Sanders hits Trump on the weak spots that he has, then it doesn't work out well for him, and that's the wild card because Sanders is very savvy.
True. I think Hillary's a big loser either way. Let's get to a couple of phone calls in this segment. First up, we go to Parkville, Illinois, and Mike. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Steve. It's Oak Park, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Love your show.
My bad. Go ahead, sir.
That's okay. Love your show.
Thank you.
Regarding Donald Trump's VP pick, I just wanted to say I think at this point it's unnecessary to pick a woman or someone from a particular ethnic constituency. I think it comes across these days as pandering. I think the American people are a lot more politically mature now, mainly as a result of the farce that is Barack Obama. But I think it would just come across as pandering, and I think the most important thing for a VP pick is someone who could take over immediately as president were something to happen to Mr. Trump.
Right, the most qualified, as they say. Mike, thank you. I want to get to one more call. And Noah, I wasn't cutting you off on that charity controversy. I just wanted to get at least 2 calls in this segment.
Sure.
That was a legitimate point you brought up, and they did say they would rectify it by next week. Bob from Roundup, Montana. I understand a proud U.S. Army vet. Go ahead, Bob.
That's right. So privileged to talk to you, and you've kind of made my life a lot simpler. I'm on the Malzberg train along with the Donald Trump train.
Well, Bob, the honor and the pleasure is mine. But go ahead. We have less than a minute. I don't want to give you short shrift, but go ahead.
Okay, quick comment, if I may. You take the riots during New Mexico, and when they waved the Mexican flag and they burned the American flag, I want to know where's the media and all the liberals if that was a Confederate flag that they were waving and burning the American flag. Would they treat it differently on the news or not?
That is a brilliant point, Bob. You're 100% right. Listen, have a very meaningful Memorial Day weekend, sir, and thank you for your service. Stacy, Noah, thank you both very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.